I'm gonna give you 4 tips on how to build muscle and put on weight. If you're a skinny guy struggling to put on weight, or if you're a beginner in the gym and you wanna put on some muscle and gain some weight, here are 4 tips. Tip number 1: you need to be doing compound movements. 90% of your exercises need to be compound. A compound exercise is any exercise where you're working multiple muscle groups at once. I'll give you an example. Pull-ups, you're working biceps, back. Bench press, you're working chest, tricep, shoulder. Overhead press, my favorite, you're working upper chest, shoulder, and tricep. Squats, you're working pretty much calves, hamstrings, and quads. So those are your main lifts. Now you're gonna save your isolation exercises towards the end of the workout. Isolation exercises is a cable. You get a cable bicep curl where you're only working the bicep. The tricep rope push down where you're only working the triceps. Side lateral raises where you're only working the side delt. Those are all isolation exercises. While those are very effective, you're gonna gain more size. You're gonna put on more weight if you work multiple muscle groups at once versus isolation exercises. So tip number 2, how many sets and reps? So if you're trying to put on size, you need to be doing anywhere between 9 to 12 sets per muscle group. And you need to be doing 8 to 12 reps per exercise. So if it's a chest day and we're focusing on chest, a good example would be an incline bench press, about 3 to 4 sets. Dips where you lean forward and you dip, 3 to 4 sets. Some kind of cable fly machine or a dumbbell fly, 3 to 4 sets. And that's pretty much it. That's about 9 to 12 reps, or I'm sorry, 9 to 12 sets right there. The rep range needs to be 8 to 12 reps, which means you need to be on rep number 8, you need to be struggling, 9 struggling, 10, and 12 you pretty much almost failed. That's the rep range that's proven to work. That's the rep ranges that I've used. We can get into like 5 sets of 5. That works really good for strength. 4 sets of 8 work really good, but the magic number where everyone is gonna really see results is 8 to 12 reps. So, like I said, if you're doing bench press, you're gonna be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is getting harder, 6, 7 is getting harder, 8 is really hard, and then you'll stay between 8 to 12. If you get 10, that's fine. If you get 11, that's fine. Tip number 3: focus on getting stronger at the compound lifts. Right when you're doing bench press, pull-ups, overhead press, write down how many reps you got and how many sets you did. That way you can up it on the next session. For instance, once you're able to do 10 pull-ups all the way up and all the way down with good form, you should be doing weighted pull-ups. There's no reason why you should be going into the gym when you're trying to create strength and size and you're just doing 3 sets of 12 pull-ups. It's too easy. That's like doing 3 sets of 12 push-ups. You're not gonna make any progress. You'll make endurance progress, but when it comes to building size, throw some weight on, throw a weighted belt on, or throw a dumbbell between your legs and start doing 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Bench press, you're gonna wanna make sure you're increasing the weight on each side. I don't know why I even say bench press. I'm talking about all your compound lifts. Increase the weight on each set. There's no point of going in the gym every day, every week, and doing the same weight over and over. It's called progressive overload is what I'm talking about. And it's where we just progress and we add more weight each week. So write down your lifts. If today you can do 3 sets of bench press with 100 pounds, next chest day you should be doing 105 pounds or 110 pounds, and you should be increasing the weight. You should be getting stronger. The stronger you get and the faster you get stronger, the quicker you're gonna put on size and strength. If you're not getting stronger, your body's not gonna change. So focus on getting strong. That's the key. Let's talk about tip number 4 is eating. If you're skinny, you need to eat. You need to eat everything you can. If you're eating, you shouldn't even be counting calories if you're skinny. If you're skinny, you should be eating from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And a lot of skinny guys, they're like, "Oh, I eat a lot." Maybe you do eat a lot, but you don't eat enough, right? There's a difference between eating a lot and eating enough. If you're eating 5,000 calories every single day and you're not gaining any weight, you need to bump that shit up to 7,000 calories. That's a exaggerated calorie number, but I'm just giving you an example. I'm talking about eat your quality foods, right? Eat your chicken, turkey, beef, eggs, fish, and eat your good carbs, your brown rice, your whole wheat bread, your sweet potatoes, your pasta. But then also you're gonna have cheeseburgers, pizza, donuts to get those extra calories. In order for you to gain weight, you have to be in a calorie surplus. And let's say you're a skinny guy and you play a sport, or you're like very active and your metabolism is very fast and you're continuously burning calories, a lot of calories throughout the day because you're very active. You're gonna really need to eat. You're gonna need to stuff your face. I remember when I was working a 9 to 5, I would eat my first meal at home. It was an egg meal, so I'd have an egg meal before I went to work around 8 o'clock in the morning. Then I prepped 3 meals for work. I had my first meal was for my first break at work. My second meal at work was for my lunch, and my third meal was for my third break. Those were all clean foods: fish, chicken, beef. But between those meals, I would eat pizza, burgers. Fortunately, I worked at a place where like people were always doing potlucks and bringing food, so I just was eating junk food. I was doing protein shakes, everything, and that's how you do it. And of course, if you're skinny, you have an advantage. You don't have to really worry about like putting on extra. You're gonna gain some fat for sure. You're gonna gain some fat, but who cares? You're gonna get strong and you're gonna get jacked. I give you about 6 to 12 months. You're gonna see a crazy transformation for sure. But yeah, those are my tips. Compound exercises, 9 sets, 8 to 12 reps. Focus on getting strong and focus on eating your quality. Make sure you're hitting a high quality protein goal. If you're 150 pounds, shoot for 100 grams of protein. The myth about a gram of protein per body weight has been debunked. You don't need that much protein. If you're cutting, that's a different story. You're gonna want to have a higher protein. But yeah, so focus on getting stronger, because if you're not getting stronger, your body's not changing. Focus on compound lifts. Focus on getting those calories in, and you're gonna make quick progress.